Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. I feel like I've scraped myself off the floor to get here. Wild night here. All is well, but yeah, wild energies, super incredible, stormy, wild, swirling wind and more rain, and I have no idea what's gone on in the rest of the city. But it is interesting because it's not just here in Auckland that all of this water has arrived. I have seen information that indicates that in California they're having something like this, and in Sydney they certainly are. Good morning, good morning. I thought about that last night, Champion for the Cause, that I must write some little notes to myself about who, like what your name is, for example, because I can't remember it at the moment. Good morning, Heather. Yes, I've come to share about the divine counterparts and sort of some of the, well, yeah, I got all this kind of lovely direction for about the divine masculine, which of course, good morning, Sarah, which of course we all hold. We all hold the qualities of the divine masculine, and in our bodies, this, this feminine and this masculine stream of energies that on this journey. Good morning, Billy. Oh, Louise, good morning, Louise. That on this journey we are pushed, pulled, encouraged, required to come into balance in both of those energy streams in our body. So this information, you can see this. Good morning, Anna. Well, good evening, Anna. That these energies apply to your divine masculine internally and externally. But I have to tell you that this water, this water is exceptionally significant to us in our world. You can see it, as I was describing, if you came on to the video I did last night. Water can be many things. So it can quench our thirst. It can be seen as a blessing. It's a human requirement. All beings require water for life. And, there are people who exist sort of in this pranic way, I don't know, actually. I'd be interested if you do. I have met people who exist on prana. I think I recall them drinking water, but maybe not everybody does. So there's that aspect. It's the cleanser of our world. That's how I see it. The rain cleans and the wind clears. Fire transmutes. Hello, Yafar. Are you all fine where you are, Yafar? Good morning, Charlotte. Hi, Amanda. So thank you for coming, everyone. So I have to tell you that there are two things right present with what has come around this this twin journey, if you like. And one of them was resistance is futile. So I heard that and I thought, I wonder where that comes from. Oh, I thought it sounded very learned, and I thought it probably comes from some Shakespearean play, but unbeknownst to me, no, it's from from Star Trek, and it's the Borg. So the Borgs, and I had to look that up. Have that. I guess it's an implanted eye. I'm not too sure, but anyway, resistance is futile. So that's a phrase that's come about this journey at the moment. And the other thing is the song by the Animals that I was hearing, which is we gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place, 'cause girl, yeah, 'cause girl, there's a better place for me and you. Boom, boom, boom. So, so I thought that was quite a nice sort of thing to hear. And the energies today here, anyway, they are. Uh, they feel like we've been granted a little bit of respite. They are smoother. They feel like that they are upgrading in our system, that it's more integration. But the upgrade is definitely coming through the spine today, through the Kundalini energies, and through the spinal fluids. Yeah, I do feel pretty excited, Charlotte. I think we're on a roll here. I think we're on a roll here in terms of life, in terms of our planetary ascension, in terms of these connections coming online or together in some form of union or reunion or reconnection. All right. So yeah, this energy in the spine. So I'm curious, how many of you are feeling that? Yeah, the weekend was brutal. That's for certain. So, I now have a bigger pond. Don't usually have a pond at all, but anyway. So let me go back and find these notes. I'm sorry. Sorry, I do look as though I'm slackly organised, and I am. So I even cancelled going to the gym this morning. I guess that's not a surprise, but it's because I feel like I had a scratched cornea, and so anyway, that's feeling a bit better. Here we are. So this was written on the 28th of this month, and this was about the divine masculines. I'm just wondering, is there something I need to say to you before that? Oh, same for you, Yifa. Yeah, it seems rather a global energetic weather event. So for many, if we talk about the divine masculines being on this spectrum, and if we talk about there being this experience of them being pushed by their soul, pushed by the divine, pulled by the magnetism of the divine feminine's heart, and also that so they're in the midst of it, really. And then also there's this stuff is happening. So it's quite humorous, really. I mean, I have total empathy, but I find it quite humorous, because really we have to be able to see the sort of lighter part of all of this. But their worlds are falling apart, and that's all part of this making it uncomfortable. It's that's what I believe, that these things falling away are part of making the divine masculine aspect feel less secure in a way, but more more unstable. More unstable, so they're less resistant. That's the general way I would describe it. So the things perhaps that have been seen as, felt as, experienced as very important to the divine masculine, they might not be existing very concretely, physically in their world at the moment. So yeah, that's how I'm showing it. The their world is falling apart around them. Their things are streaming off them. Things aren't working for them, and of course that is all about this awakening, which many of us will remember. Um, that it's like shite happens when we're in that place, so things fall apart, things don't work. There's all of a sudden, my experience was, and it was I was very pushed and guided by the divine, and I would have been much more resistant if I'd perhaps known what I needed to go through, and they will not need to go through all that many of us have been through. But I gave up my no, I didn't give up, I resigned, but I gave away my sort of professional career that I did love, and I sold my house and I moved geographically, and I went traveling in amongst all that. But yeah, all of a sudden I'm in this position where I'm being kind of rejigged, and so this is what's happening for many of the divine masculine at the moment. They're being rejigged, self-appraised, to see what it is that is pulling them, pushing them. And it, I want to say that it's because there is divine play in its having a role at the moment, having a major role. So their three-dimensional world is falling apart. So that is people, that is stuff, that is jobs, that is situations. So that it's like things don't work out for them. Things aren't working out for them in the way that they thought. And then on top of that, so that's kind of what's going on around them. And internally, they're having more like huge heart openings, heart activations. That whole is amped up. It's hard to believe that it could be more amped up than what they did experience, but it's amped up. We're all having these greater love experiences, that feeling like we are sort of floating around in bliss more and more often. The world is changing around us. We are witnessing the softening of people, and it's the same for them. The our divine masculine, the divine masculine in our world, they're these incredible, amazing, beautiful beings with compassionate hearts, and they are just being guided to find their way in a new way, in a way that the world doesn't support. And so that's challenging for them because they have to step into a new paradigm, a new way of operating, a new way of being guided to, they're like shunted into coming into listening more to their inner guidance, to their gut instinct, to following that, to learn what happens when they follow that. And I know that there's more and more men who turn up to see me for readings or guidance who are having that experience. So yeah, they are in this total unthreading of their three-dimensional world, and how it's different. So because they're having more of this sort of sensory experience, it's this moving out of the head, moving out of almost total reliant on cognitive function into this guidance by their heart, but they're very pulled magnetically to their divine feminine. And that was something that Guy showed me a long time ago, that the magnetic pull of the divine feminine's heart acted like this huge pulsating magnet that moves across and sort of this pulsating rings that moves across the planet. So they are in clear knowing now. Oh yeah, and I was talking to I was talking to Anna, And I said to her, it's like this experience that we have in New Zealand. So if you don't live in New Zealand, you may or may not be aware of this, but we live on the other side of the world. We are, um, so for example, I flew to France, and I think that was either 52 or 54 hours of travel. And we allowed a bit of time in London airport in case there was a delay on the long haul, but it's a long way away. And when people come to New Zealand, when travellers come, they often say, "Oh, it's such a long way to come." And so New Zealanders have this thing called an OE. Well, not every New Zealander, but many New Zealanders have what we call an OE, an overseas experience. OE, an overseas experience. And so this is something that many New Zealanders have like a calling for, really. So often year 13 or 7th form students, they talk about that's what they're going to do when they finish secondary school, and they are around 17, 18, and then others do it at the end of their university degree. But many New Zealanders have this experience, and so this is what I was saying is a little bit like the DM's kind of experience. They know that they're doing this now. They know they're having this experience to come to their divine feminine, and it's a given. So they might not have communicated that, but they know that, and that knowing, it's very clear. And it's like, just rereading what I wrote. So they have to get it all together. So people, when they're having their OE, so they might finish their qualification and then they have to get everything together. So it might be they have to get a bit of a part-time job to get enough money to take with them, or to top up the funds they've saved in their part-time job through school or through university or that kind of thing. And but they know they're going. That's their whole focus is on that, and that's where the divine masculine are at in their journey, in my view. That they know they're like there in some way already with their divine feminine. Um, and they've also remember that they live in this very logical manner, the divine masculine in our world. So they operate in this very pragmatic, practical, logical, rational world and way of being. And so this is a bit of a shift around for them. But they've recognised that that's not working so well for them. So they're having to learn, negotiate, navigate a new way of being. And the other thing that they have recognised is this extraordinary love, and that they know it's eternal. So I know you probably heard me say all of those things before, but that's the summary of where most of them, I believe, are at. And for the divine feminine, there's just a little bit I wrote in here. So many of you are awake and very conscious. You have a knowing of a bigger outcome, and that you have a big input here in the world, that you've come here for, not just this connection, but in what really in a way, in who you have or who you have to become in order to hold this connection. And so there's a similarity there. So how I see it is that the divine feminine they are in this, how can I describe it? It shows up as, rising off the ground as the high priestess or the high goddess, in the knowing, in the absolute knowing, being able to totally release it. That reminds me that somebody sent me a letter to read out to you. Somebody I did a reading for. I'll just find that while I am thinking about it. Okay, so I'll come back and read you that. Um, 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 um. And I know I've said this as well, but I know that because I feel you. You know, a lot of the divine feminine are frustrated and a little bit fed up. It's felt so prolonged and elongated, and so it's a bit like. And so I just want to remind you that, I mean, how many years have you been awake for? How long is it that you've been in this exploration of this journey of these higher gifts and energies that you hold, of this love that you have in your heart, and that doesn't just apply anymore to just your divine masculine, does it? You're able to, know, push that out into the world in many, many ways. Um, so yeah, we've felt ready for a long time, but even for me, I'm not talking about you and me. I mean, I mean that in the royal we. Um, we've kind of become more finessed at what we do. We've done these little tweaks of our energy field. We've got to run our systems better to understand our energy systems. So we've been holding space, but we've we've still had to go deeper, higher, become more stable in our energetic form, because in the main, and I say this without ego, we're here to do big things. We're here to perform big tasks. Twins who came in this lifetime came to have an impact on the world and breaking down of paradigms and the building of the new. And so that was a bit like putting your hand up to do a qualification that hadn't yet been designed. Like doing a double PhD or something at the same time. And so we've gone deeper, higher, we've developed constancy. That's been another thing. Um, and and then so we had to do all that with this beautiful love that we hold for the divine masculine, and then we've had to hand it over. And so that's kind of goes, it's an oxymoron in a way, isn't it? To hold all that love and then hand it over, hand over the need for it to be them or to come from them, to hold it in ourselves. Sorry, that was just a very strange noise that came. Um, and to give it over to God, basically, to hand it over to the divine energies. So we have had to come into our own higher alignment, and this is the place that the divine masculine are in completion of, but alongside all the other things. So where they are at now is this recognition of soul purpose, how that might align to them, to what it is they have done in their life, the qualifications that they might have. They're still experiencing this in the divine masculine practical pragmatic way, but they're coming into this higher divine alignment of knowing and recognizing and learning about their energetic world. So they've definitely been in the finessing of that, this recognition that, whereas once upon a time everything was very physical and tangible to them, that there's this other aspect to our way of being that is this energetic world. And so, we're doing this process now as individuals, and then as the part of the divine feminine or the divine masculine aspects of self, and then as the divine feminine and divine masculine collectives. So I have questions for you, and I have questions for you, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So to the divine feminines, are you clear? You can do a little checklist with yourself. Are you clear, aligned, surrendered? Are you aligning to your highest timeline? So you can call in alignment to your highest. And I call in my highest divine alignment to my highest timeline. Are timelines collapsing around you? They probably are. Are you feeling stretched, as though your timelines are stretched as well? It's kind of a bit like walking a tightrope. Have you done enough of your own energy work, your own healing? Are you in your high priestess mastery? So all the freedom comes after that, after the collapse, after the depression, after the money has gone, and the learning of detachment. So it's not necessarily all of those things, but those are aspects of it. This month is going to be big and significant for Divine Counterparts. I feel that tomorrow is going to be a very significant day as well. I I will talk about that separately. I haven't quite completed my February notes yet. I need to do that. And then this is what came as, this is really why I was doing this video. So that's all the prelude to this. But I wanted to ask the divine masculines, where are you at? With a bit of attitude, actually. But these are the questions really that holds over. Are you learning more about energy? So if you are a divine masculine and you've tuned into here, then you can be asking yourself these questions. These are questions that can give you guidance, and all of us can have this guidance for our own divine masculine internal energy as well. But it's a bit of a checklist, so you can see, well, have I done that, and have I done that, and where am I up to with that? So are you learning more about energy, divine masculine, about your own energy and about the energetic world? Are you learning to explore your authenticity? Who are you truthfully? Are you aligning to that, your authentic voice, your authentic truth? Are you speaking it? Are you exploring your sensory body? What does it tell you? How can you register those physical sensations in your body? What are the messages they bring? Are you exploring your beautiful heart? Our divine masculines have the most exquisite hearts. Are you exploring what you really want? Like what you want, not what the world wants of you, what you want, not what your family wants or your existing circumstances deny or demand, but what do you want? What do you really want? And who are you? Who are you? You need to be asking yourselves that question, who you really are. And what are you here to do, to create, to achieve? And what is your highest divine purpose? So these are big, lofty questions, aren't they? But these are what came through. What is your dream? What is your dream job? What is your dream vision? What is your dream mission? Who do you want to help? Where, what, and how do you want to make a difference? And who for? Are you awake, conscious, ascending? Where are you out of balance? Where are you in balance? Where are you unhealed? And where are you healed? What do you need to come into your own wholeness? Are you balanced in your masculine and feminine energies? Have you explored both? Where is it that you do not see yourself? Where do you feel lack? What does your fully empowered, awakened, divinely aligned self look like, feel like, and be? Who is your divine feminine? Do you know? Have you developed some spiritual practice? That can be a big, wide range of things. You don't have to be a guru. Your spiritual practice may be engaging consciously with nature, meditating under a tree, maybe just sun gazing, prayer, any of those. But really, it is about developing a practice for inner contemplation, for hearing your own voice, for hearing your own guidance. Yeah, so those are the kind of, I guess, that summary overview for for us, for all of us, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I got this letter from a client, and what she said is, oh, so she comes on to the channel as well. So she's saying, oh, there's two parts to it. Okay, so I'll just read it, and you hear it, feel it, experience it. She said, I have had an interesting few days, which I am happy for you to share on your next chat online. I think it may be helpful to some. As you know, with our session, I've been on the twin flame journey for about 4 years now, and have been in separation for over a year. Our last contact finished abruptly with me telling my twin flame to never contact me again. Last night, he made contact with me. He said he has awakened. That's nice feedback, isn't it? For those of us here who've been pondering that. He wanted me to know I wasn't crazy, and he 100% believes in the twin flame journey. He thinks of me every day and misses me greatly, the true love of his life. However, he has since recently had a little girl, his first child, and then this is to which he will dedicate his life, even remaining in his unhappy relationship for now. And she's saying, for months now, I have to say I had completely given up on the thought that we were twin flames and started to detach completely. I just wanted to share with everyone, let go of the twin flame journey. I believe now we will not be together, and I'm okay with that. I believe everyone on your channel is most probably well and truly detached now, but also curious to know if anyone else has had contact this week. She's been seeing recurring numbers everywhere, literally flashing in front of her eyes, these multiple ones and multiple twos and threes and fours and eights, etc. And then she sent an extra note, and I sent her a message back saying that, the divine masculine are really feeling the pull as well. And so she's saying, I meant detach in a positive way from the twin flame journey or the divine masculine journey. I thought I had, but indeed there were lingering triggers. And so these are the little nuances that we've been talking about on here. He wanted to meet in person, but my gut said not to. I just need to continue on my own journey. The divine masculines are definitely feeling a strong pull. And so there will be, in that situation, it's a really good overview of where things are at. And all the power is within us to continue our own journey into our own greatness, and know that these are, I believe anyway, these are divine alignments, they're divine contracts, and sometimes there might be some little delays with things like that. But oh but yeah, it isn't that you are, it's hard to describe if you haven't come across the concept, but you're letting go of the need for it, really. You come into your own wholeness, your own divine alignment, and then you let go of the need for it. And so it's that energetic codependency. That's the big job for divine feminines, is to deal with that codependency energy, and then come into your own focus, so that your own divine masculine is supporting your own mission, and then those things will come into more alignment. And as Deb's saying, we become more sovereign with being an individual. Well, that's exactly right, and that's the journey. So we come into our own sovereign divinity in that higher space, in our high priestess aspect, and then we are continuing our mission. Our divine masculine internal self is supporting us in that way. That's our wholeness, that's our alignment. And then we are in that place beginning our work, and they will come on back, because these are, yeah, they are soul contracts. And so on top of that, and then I'll come back and check through. The other part I want to say to you is, these, you came with this mission for purpose. So there is, excuse me. You've come here to do something individually in your purpose, but also with your divine masculine connection, because it's the rippling power of unconditional love out across the planet, which helps us to into higher dimensional spaces during the ascension process, or in the bigger ascension process. There are paradigms set to be sort of dissolved and rewritten, recreated. That's part of the twins' journey. You are the same soul, and there's been a lot of times when you have come to the earth separately. Well, one holds space off planet. One is like the watcher, the keeper, the protector, and we've each had turns at that. And then we've had lifetimes, and some may have had many, but I believe probably not. I think most of the lifetimes that we've had here, we've come where one has come to do something big, like illuminate the dark ages or something like that. And the other has held space for that. And then there are times when you come together, but the reason, so this is what I go to when I hear kind of dissent about this. It's there is greater purpose. It's why these twin energies, these two bodies in one soul split into two bodies, came at this time. It's to bring about this evolution. And it's not that we do it alone, but we have a big impact. So we're here to smash open the old relationship paradigms and build new ones, and they have a different flavor, and they're unconditional love. And so we have to learn what that is, because we've not had that experience on the earth. And so we're having to learn how to do this in our physical form, in our physical communities. That's why many of you probably are having the experience of this time alone. That helps us to dive deeper. We can become more resilient. We get to know who we are more. We come into our greater alignment. We come into our strength where we hold that for ourselves. And so that has been a very big paradigm that the divine feminine in our world have been breaking down. And now we're here to build the new. So in order to build the new, we're doing that in this individual sense. The divine masculine are doing that, but in many ways we cut the path. And so they somebody said to me once, well, how have the divine masculine held space for us? Well, I don't know exactly how. I just know that they have. I just know that they have they've held us like this, if you like. They have held this energetic space in this very grounded way so that almost they can grab our legs so we don't float off, because a lot of the divine feminine have been doing work in the ethers, and so energetically we're working in partnership whether we're aware of it or not. And so I feel that's the divine masculine have held this grounded, structured, three-dimensional, energetic anchor, while we have been doing our work in the etheric realm, changing the templates, doing whatever that work is in its broad. And then now it's time for us to hold space as our integrated self for them to come, more into their hearts and explore their spiritual, dimensional, energetic, internal space. But energetically, we're the same. We're exactly the same. Soul signature, soul frequency, soul song. It cannot be disputed. It cannot be mistaken. But there are nuances, so there are other signatures that might come from a bigger group, so there'll be some similarities. And so this is the sort of tweaking part that I believe that we're in now, and the timing is nigh, and this energetic frequency that's coming in from the outer dimensions now is impacting strongly. There's this very, these higher cosmic codes are doing some of the tweaking around that. And then there's what's coming in February. So I believe that we are close, and that our role here is to just become more and more of who we are, and holding space in the knowing that they're coming. So I'll just see if there are any questions here. Where did I get to? Oh yes, so a few people feeling that the energies of the weekend being brutal. Oh, my DM has just been diagnosed with cancer all through his body. Okay. I want to say just hold space for that to unfold. What I see is it's like I see I see he leaves his body, as though he has that that moment, but he doesn't go. So it's showing that energetically he kind of goes up in this motion, but then he drops back down. And when he, how I'm seeing him in this motion is quite discombobulated, like it's like looking at a molecular structure that's not vibrating correctly. And but I see him come back, and we are so close to having these healing modalities available for all of that to be remedied. So you're sending lots of love to you. That's what I see. And if there are those of you who see here, if you want to have a look, then yeah, give some support here to, I know you wrote it in, Jill's. So let's just hold some loving space here for Jill's and her divine counterpart to be aligned, healed, whole. Ia takana I a tā shoi a takana a ia te arakana o a takana shishi ia tānana ia tānana ia kashi a takana a ia tō ia tō ia tō I shiana. All right, Deb is saying she has seen the Watchers. Oh, have you? How exciting. Yeah, so the Watchers are, I believe the Watchers are those same illuminated beings of light, the light pillars. You'll remember me saying a little while ago, it's like they were dropping in the energy of the higher ascended beings. And she's saying an amazing eye, she had an amazing eye come to her and the Star of David in the violet flame. There is huge clearing going on. We can all do that. Prosperity is here. Yes, so the violet flame, you can call upon the sacred flame of Saint Germain, the violet and silver, the gold and silver violet flame of Saint Germain. And you can call that in for transmutation. And so that's something that you could do too, Jills, is that you could call upon Saint Germain for that. Oh, yeah, Deb's saying, I'm so pleased you said that about twin flames, let it go. If this is the first person I've heard say this, thank you. Yeah, well, I think on here we've been saying that for a while. I think there are lots of people who say that. It's just this weird concept, isn't it? Because we're not taught that. We're taught, hold on to the things you want and care for, but we're changing the energetics around. We are learning to work in a world that is run by frequency, guided by frequency and energy. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry that's happening. Champion for the cause. Jules, I'm sorry. But that's a karmic behavior, isn't it? And so just let it sit. Know that this tweaking is going on. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Andrea. Hello, Joe. Yeah, well, all is well here in a way, but I haven't been out. We're flooded everywhere. It's phenomenal. This rain that's come in. But I did say last night, no one got back to me. But do other people have this experience? What about you, Charlotte, where you are? Has this rain felt clear and clean to you? Yeah, that's right. The some of those jabs did affect people in a physical, medical way. A juicing and a raw diet. So Charlotte, if you don't know Charlotte, Charlotte Branson is this incredible foodie. So she's just hearing this, and I have heard of this also. I just heard to do a juicing and raw diet. Even at stage 4, I've seen miracles. I'm sorry for this news. So that is certainly something to do. It's there are definitely therapists around who do that, assistance with that as well. And it's about, so also it's about green. It's about using, so you have a green juice. Well, that's one of the protocols that I know of. A green juice to start the day, so your your smoothie doesn't have banana in it. I don't think. I think it's very green, so it's got that bitter taste. So with those bitter leaves, spinach and spirulina, things like that. I Jasmine Everett saying she clearly heard her DM say, "Call out for me." I did so and began flipping the cards. They all said delayed. I couldn't help but laugh. Oh yeah, that is funny. Yeah, I've felt that all along, and certainly God has shown me that. It's like the divine masculine have been continually delayed, continually interfered with through the energies, like the karmic energies, if you like. But I want to say to you, don't think of the karmic energies as just that. The karmic energies, though, it's all about learning. We choose all of these things for our own growth and learning and development. And so you could say that if your divine masculine has been involved in something like that, then this is for their evolvement. It means that you don't have to be doing that part of the journey with them. Letting in love would work miracles too. Yeah. Love is a very powerful vibration. So Charlotte's answering me about the rain. Yes, very different, very refreshing, yet torrential. Yes, it feels good today despite having to dry things out. Yes, so it felt it felt like rain. I remember, in my childhood, it was rain that you could, open your mouth and drink. It just had that cleansing feeling about it. Not like some of the rain that we have been having. Sarah's saying all stars in the sky until 3 a.m., then woke up to snow. Wow. DM, not on my radar. I don't even think about that. Does that mean I won't have one? I don't know. But you'll have your own soul connection with a beautiful being. Oh, Sarah. Well, can I do that on here? I think I probably need to have a little bit more information. But I could do that on in a session if you wanted to book a session. I think that's it. So we're on the home stretch. They're likely to drop in. You're likely to hear from them. We're certainly in that part of the divine counterparts race to the finish line, if you like. And there's bigger things afoot. So I believe, I see it. It's not necessarily exactly like this, but how I see it is it's almost like there's a date stamp in the heart. I see it like a gold ring, not a ring for your finger, but a ring, and that the the date and names are like stamped on it with like an engraving stamp, a metal stamp. And I just think we're in these very sort of the very last finessing parts of it, and there's this energetic push pull magnetism. There's a an like a global timing thing, if you like. This um, it's like that. All right. So I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, wherever you are and whatever time of the day that you're at. And yeah, come into, actually remind me. Oh, no, let's do it. Let's do it now. Um, Pop in the thread what it is that you do, um, because it's really time for us to start networking in that way. So you're welcome to pop in the thread what you do and maybe where you are. And so we'll just sit here a moment if you want to do that now, or even if it's where you are, even if you're not quite sure. But probably most of you have a really good idea about your soul purpose now. And there's certainly lots of musical clues that drop in for me more and more often, actually, and which is quite hilarious because I am a bit useless at remembering lyrics, um, and and because because I'm not exposing myself to um, music through the mainstream, because I'm just keeping my frequencies clean and clear of what can run interference, because we know it's all been turned upside down. Frequency of music, the inculcation through television and films. All right. Well, it doesn't look like people are interested in doing that. Oh, sorry. Oh, I take that back. Beg your pardon. Deb Boyle is in New Plymouth and is a spiritual holistic coach, energy healer, and light language practitioner. There you go, everyone. Anyone who lives down that way. Oh, Sarah, we save seeds for gardeners. That's great work. That's crucial work to our future as well. Anna Reynolds, beginning to practice as a counsellor in Lincoln, the UK. Amanda Tyler, Reiki and resilience coaching in New Zealand. Sarah C. in Texas in the United States, working on a mediumship and channeling, still have a regular day job as well. Oh, good work. Yeah, it takes time. I just realised the sort of paradox of that. But yeah, it does. We have to develop these things in a way where we can move through them incrementally. Jasmine Everett used to teach second grade, floundering about now because of the state of teaching in America and Texas. Yes, well, begin to contemplate how you could use your skills in a different community setting. The I'm doing a series of in-depth topics, and I've only done one so far, but I've done economics, and I am going to do government, and then I'm going to do health, and then I'm going to do, I'm not sure in the order, but education is in the last thing. We're going to have a totally different setup. The whole education program has been inculcated with this wokeism, the wokeism inculcation. You could probably make up good songs about that. So yeah, Jasmine, if I were you, I would be making connections. Make sure you get to know the parents of your students, so that when you launch into something new, I think there's going to be a lot more people who would draw their kids from school. It's just hard. What I don't know, and I kind of wish I did, and I feel like I'm not being shown it deliberately, is that we is this thing I spoke about last night, is that there's all these levels of things. So on one level we could be like both, the awakening wave comes through and we're all awakened, we're all enlightened, we're all knowing. That could happen. That's a possibility. And on the other level, it might be that the wave, I mean, we're having these waves now that are moving us up the ascension spiral. And it could be that the wave comes through and we move up, an entire level or two levels. I'm really unsure. And I know I said the other day I must check that out. And then later on, my intuition was, no, not to be told that. So it's like, it, I guess it's so we keep seeking while we're still in this place. Where did I get to? Anarchy does paint intuitively, is a special needs mama. That's a big job on its own. And doing energy healing with my boy, lots of intuitive Merkaba meditation. Yeah. So if you, that's powerful because that's our energy system. Our energy system supports our physical body. Everything is energy first. And, just having a special needs child is very sacred work. So blessings to you. So in the Merkaba meditation, I guess you know about you spin one way and one the other, and that one's feminine and one's masculine. Champion for the cause. Jill's is a Reiki master and does pranic work in Bowen. Jill's floundering here in Utah. In the blink of an eye. So have I got that confused? Jills, or have we got two Jills? Oh, I have to go back and look at the thread. Sorry, I need to jot these names down because I like to be able to call people by their name or by their correct name. So we're so close to it, and either of those things could happen. There are people who are already setting up new systems for various things, and some of you might be a part of that, or you might discover that you are a part of that, and we'll be playing with it because life is going to be playful, joyful, high frequency, collaborative, cooperative, and we'll be working together in teams. 11:11 here in the UK. As you said, we're close. Yes, Anna. Thank you. We are. Carolyn, she is a leader of this mission. Oh, yeah, Carolyn, tell us more about that. I create the new structures and guide on the highest timelines. We are on different levels. I see this as on the. Oh, I'm going all goosey. I'm at the top. First step is taken by me. Yeah, so how, what can you tell us about the timing of it, Carolyn? What's the incremental step that needs to occur for us to have this final ascension wave? And thank you, everybody. Thank you for not just being here, but thank you for being here on the earth, for coming and being in completion of or enroll with your mission and with the love that you hold. Thank you, Jasmine. She's saying thank you for putting yourself out here and enjoying the community you're building, and listening to you and Gaia helps me keep on track. Yeah, thank you. I'm sure that's what it's about. I feel that's what I'm here to do. And Larissa's an Asian fusion chef. Oh, my favourite food. Don't find yet my path. Well, maybe that is your path. Do you love it? It's do you love it? Do you continuously love it? Do you have a special flavour with it? Total pun intended. Okay, Carolyn, incremental step is the heart connection between myself and DM as we leave the original twin flames, and this will bring through the wave of connection or moving to a higher awareness. Thank you, Beachweed, saying ditto to what Jasmine said. Okay, Carolyn. Oh, so we send you so much love and support for that to come into being. Amanda's saying your work sounds interesting, Deb. Most of her coaching messages is very intuitive. Well, let me tell you that each of us, each of you, hold a specific individual frequency, and it's so that you can attract a different group of people. It's all aligned. All right, so Carolyn, I'm sending all the love and support for your connection to come together so that we can move through this time. But thank you for coming and sharing that. I'm very appreciative. I've told this to many, it's all coming through now. This is Carolyn continuing. We all hold parts of the system. The alignment is the tree of life. We are here to create the structures in the physical now. Yeah, so my understanding is that we don't have to create the new structures in order to go through. We have to release the old. Would you agree with that? And Anna Quiz from the UK, she does intuitive art. So it's always about that what you do, holds the frequency of love and you feel in flow. When you have those timeless moments, that is a very good indicator that you're in your soul work. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. There was definitely that feeling of that, wasn't there? So Carolyn's saying remove the root of all evil a couple of nights ago, so the understanding of true abundance is coming through now. A I think it's dodecahedron. That's the 10-sided shape, I think. All right, so lots of blessings. It's hold yourself in prayer, in alignment. Carolyn's saying abundance of our true sources, Kundalini rising. You'll be feeling the energy of that. I am. And this is, the micro and the macro. And so our planetary being is holding this new higher frequency as well. Oh, 12-sided. Thank you, Deb. All right. Lots of love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm very appreciative of you giving up your time to come here. Larissa's saying a dodecahedron is an inside of 2 triangles and that it's a Pleiadian symbol. You're welcome, Heather. Thank you, Anna. Yes, she's feeling it all landing in the physical, true abundance returning. Yeah, and abundance, remember, is really our energetic flow. This idea that we can create in the now moment is our abundance, that we can have, be, and do whatever is in our highest alignment for self and the planet and humanity. Hello, Antoinette. You're very welcome. You're welcome, Sarah. You're welcome, Larissa and Jules. Much love, everyone. Enjoy this day. It's full of blessings and blessings. Okay, bye. Thank you, Carolyn, for sharing all of that information. Thank you, Deb.